That's my bad.
We got 1 minute.
We're live.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pillow Talk Lounge. I'm your host, Miss Kia, and my other co-host. Would y'all like to introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, I'm V.
What's going on, everybody? Tierra the Diva.
Hey, and it's J. Lou.
Hey V, you on mute.
She said, there she goes.
That's better. Ooh. I got interruption.
So, y'all,
what have y'all been doing lately since y'all been in quarantine? Are y'all ready to go back to work? You ready to go out? Like, what's going on with y'all?
Yes, I need to be friends with people. I do. I just need to be friends. I want to go to. It's supposed to be 76 degrees on Sunday. That is good brunch weather on Sunday.
I know, right? And all we can do is have virtual brunches with friends.
I've been doing virtual. I have not done a virtual.
I will never do a virtual brunch.
Really?
Maybe we should do a virtual brunch.
Like, why don't we do a virtual brunch then?
Why?
So what we gonna do? We just gonna eat and talk to each other.
Right. Like, purpose.
That inquire.
Yes. Just like when we was in front of each other, we talk. We can. Yes.
Agreed.
Not as.
I think you should do
because you
that.
can't. You know. I don't know. I never tried, so I won't knock it yet. But here's our other co-host, Legend.
No one can make his
appearance. Yeah, my house phone on fire. Sorry, y'all. So we want to get started. J. Lou, you want to open us up with our topics?
Our first topic. Yeah. So our first topic. So we all know that last Thursday was the first of when it came to the NFL draft and the first virtual draft. But first, what were your thoughts on? Didn't anybody catch the draft? What were your thoughts on it being the first virtual draft?
It was long. I felt like it was so long. I was like, oh my God, when is this going to end? Especially day one. Oh my God, I think I was up to like midnight.
The draft is always long, though. I wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Go ahead, Jen.
No, it's just I agree with Tierra. It just seemed extra long because I will watch the draft, that night, and I'm just like, all right, I'm about to go to bed now because it just seemed, especially the number that they were on at that time, and it was just like, all right,
it was way too long for me. I felt like it was dragged out. Normally, because I guess when we normally watch the draft, where the players are actually there, and to have them cut over to cameras and the families and all of that other stuff, it just felt really drawn out this year. Very drawn out.
And I know they probably felt like they're blessed to be, part of being in the draft in the NFL now, but it sucks with this whole pandemic because it takes away from that excitement of getting up, walking down there, their mom and dad, whoever is with them there to celebrate that moment, and walking across that stage to get your jersey and your hat. It's like, it's a proud moment. And, it's sad that it was slightly taken away from them with what's going on right now. But
the crazy thing is, normally when they get the hat, because they give them the hat too with the jersey. And I think this year, like the young guys didn't even know what team they were going to. So it's not like they could have the hat already or get the jersey already. They just had to be, excited for even getting picked for any team.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks for me. I thought it was disappointing, but I mean, it was dragged out long enough. 3 days. 3 days.
Well, it's always like that long as far as 3 days. Yeah, going into the draft, I had conversations with some friends, and when they post as far as their highlights, these top players that are coming into the draft, and they post their highlights. So one thing that we kind of really looked at and kind of critique is how they highlight Black players compared to their counterparts or white players. To me, it seemed like they always highlight and showcase all the positive when it comes to like these white players. For instance,
You want me to show that one? Okay.
yeah, go ahead. For instance, and it's good that they show their accolades and everything, all the positive, where they're from, what they're majoring, their GPA, and talk about other accomplishments that they have. And if you look at the next one, player, it's always showing like these white players having all the positive accomplishments that they have. But however, when it comes to African American players, we got another one right here talking about how much pounds he gained during college to help him out, with his career and his talents, being athletic, his scholarship offers, talking about, his father wrestling at another schools. However, when it comes to the African American players, I feel like they point out some of the positive, but it's always a negative pointed out. Like, for example, we talk about Cam Akers. We talked about him being number one running back in ESPN classes 2017. And they go with the positive, but at the end, it's always that one negative thing. Talking about his mom had breast cancer. Well, she beat breast cancer, but even though that's a great thing that she beat breast cancer, but I still feel like it's on the side of putting a negative, something's happening, or dealing with somebody died, family, or somebody was recovering from drugs, or somebody was incarcerated. Like, it's always a bullet point discussing when it comes to African American athletes. Like, for instance, our next player, when it came to talk about T. Higgins, and T. Higgins highlighted all his great accomplishments. But at the end, it talked about how his mom for a drug addiction. So, I mean, my thing is that really important? Putting like a negative notion. However, I did see an article on that ESPN apologized to him for putting that in there. However, he said on Twitter, and I quote from what he said on Twitter, he says, "I have no problem with them showing the world that my mom is a true fighter." I mean, I get it. This shows the sense of, a family member still being incarcerated, and this, whatever struggles they went through, this is them being strong and getting through it. But however, like, does it really have, my question to you guys is, does it really have to be highlighted, compared to our white counterparts and what they're doing to African Americans?
Do you think that part of it is the fact that these boys told their coaches their story about their parents and stuff like that?
I mean, of course. Go ahead, Lee.
I just feel like they put out whatever they got. You know what I mean? Like, they had to get that information from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And, maybe that's some information or questioning that they asked maybe the player, coaching staff, and I think they got that information and they reported it. So, I think it's one of those things where if you don't want it reported, you don't talk about it.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know how true that is, because it does seem so coincidental that not all, but most of the Black folks that got recruited had a story. But I just think that whatever was put out there was probably provided to them, to ESPN, to the scouts, to whoever was doing the line of questioning. I don't know.
So do you think that a lot of the Black young guys put their story out there for them to show, like, because I'm sure that they asked about their siblings and their parents and stuff like that. And I'm sure that they pretty much told them the truth. Like, okay, well, my mom was on drugs, or my sister battled this, or, things like that. Or my sister may have raised me, Do you think that that's part of it?
I mean,
I do. I think they are repeating what they. I think they're putting out maybe what they.
But do you think they do their research as well?
I'm saying I feel like they do their research, and they probably are telling their stories to whoever. I'm not saying that don't tell your story. Of course, they probably told their stories. But my thing is, does it have to be broadcast as highlighted on a bullet point? But a negative. Just show all the positives, just like you do our white counterparts. To be honest with you, does it have to really be highlighted and showcased for everyone to see?
I just feel like they do this with everything. It's not really just sports. This is just the kind of thing that they do when it comes to Black people in general. They highlight their struggles, their mishaps, and mistakes that they made. They don't let it die. This is a prime example, like, when Kobe Bryant died or whatever, and, they were talking about him, but they brought up the whole rape charges and stuff. They didn't let that die. They just keep highlighting things that, may have happened, but they don't.
Did media let it die, or did others bring it up, if you know what I mean? Because I don't remember when he passed away, them like publicizing the whole rape thing. I remember like conversations that people had maybe on social media about it, but I mean, it's hard to publicize
media. I think it stemmed from the media and trickled over into social media.
I heard both.
Yeah, because I do remember watching. I don't quote, don't quote me on this, but I do remember. I don't even remember where. I remember they were talking about the Kobe, and then it kind of brought up. It was on a news channel when they were talking about him and remembering him, and the whole rape allegations did slightly come up. They didn't go into detail so much about it, but it did slightly come up with that.
Yeah,
we lost Miss Kia.
I don't know. It's dropped out. I don't know what happened. She did something with her phone and just fell out. But yeah, I think that it's a hit or miss with that, especially with the fact that with these young guys, they pretty much they don't. What happened, Kia?
I had technical difficulties, and I can only hear you and Jen. I can't hear V, so I left to see if I can hear her now.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm not using my headphone, but it was like behind, and I needed to know what you were saying.
It's a good comment that Justin put up.
But I think that when it came to the NFL draft, a lot of these guys, these young guys, pretty much gave them the information that they wanted to be displayed. I mean, they don't have to go digging far, honestly, because a lot of them already know these kids' stories, especially the coaches. The coaches definitely know these kids' stories. That's how they got picked up. So it's like a hit or miss kind of deal for me.
Justin made a good point. Bullets are my achievement stats and then background. The fact that 98% of the AA athletes drafted didn't show a major or GPA should be a real focus. As I said, maybe with T. Diggins in his comment saying that he had no problem with them showing it. It just shows like how his mother is a true fighter and her strength. Hey, Lance. Some of them use it as a means to just go harder, or knowing that this is what I came from, and knowing that your life you can do so much better than like where you came from and the struggles and everything that that you had to endure throughout your life. So I mean, I get it, but sometimes I feel like I guess it's the whole, you're doing it for these Americans, but you ain't doing it for somebody else.
Right. That's crazy. Well, while we're at it, and we're talking about the NFL draft, we're going to give a shout out to my cousin. He will be playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jen.
Shout out to John Hightower, a.k.a. Lonnie, because that's what we call him, or John. We call him John a lot.
Welcome. Definitely proud of all the young men who made it.
So that means you're going to be going for Philly, huh? Not those damn
I have nothing against Philly, but hey, that's not my team. My husband is a Philly fan all day, every day. He's from Philly, North Philly. He stays.
Long as he wasn't a cowboy, that's all I care about.
Me and V, where'd V go?
I don't know.
Technical difficulties.
Right, we've been having some technical difficulties, obviously. But yes. That's good. But I just feel bad for people just all in general this year. Like, people won't be able to walk across the stage to graduate. People aren't going to prom. Like a lot of different things are being snatched from them. And I wish, we knew how they feel. Like we could have somebody on to talk about it. But yeah, they're kind of being robbed of their moment. It's always special when you graduate.
That's a big moment. Prom, graduation, walking across the stage. That's
just high school graduation. It's high school graduations, college graduations, proms.
People's travel time.
Travel time. Especially like these seniors from high school who are going into college. It's hard to even look at schools right now because of COVID. And then
sorry, my computer died. What were you guys talking about? Quarantine?
Yeah, we were just talking about how Jim was talking about they weren't able to go to the draft and they have to do everything, online and stuff. So I was just kind of highlighting the other people, like people who are graduating and going to prom, they don't get the opportunity to do that this year. And I was just saying, it's sad because those are special moments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But, all right, V, you up? What you got? What's the next topic?
So, straight to it. Versus Teddy Riley with Babyface. Who y'all got?
So
Babyface all day.
My whole thing was
Babyface did that.
The first time that they tried to do it, I felt like Teddy Riley was just doing too much. He had a whole
chapstick, y'all. I'm sorry. He needs some chapstick.
Hold up, B. Did you see when they first epic fail? On top of that,
when I tell y'all, I was up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning reading memes on him. I'm like, people work fast.
No, what I say, social media and the memes was going in on him, but he did. I felt like he had a whole orchestra. Babyface sitting in his studio by himself, like.
Hold up, and then Babyface was throwing shade. He was like, "I'm practicing social distancing."
He did, and when he made the little joke about the remix, it almost took me out. He's like, "Oh, I don't do remixers."
Was that a remix? Oh, I don't do
remixes. It did some of the songs that I didn't even know that like Teddy Riley or Babyface wrote. Like most of them, I did.
Yeah, I was shocked.
A lot of songs I was shocked that Teddy Riley did that song. I literally was in here jamming.
I did not know Teddy Riley did the show with Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. I did not know.
I did not know that either. He opened it with that.
I was like, what?
I got something for all y'all.
Okay.
So who would y'all like to see in versus next? I got somebody in my mind. I got Kanye and Pharrell.
Oh, that would be a good one. I ain't never think of that. Who would you think? I think Pharrell might kill it.
You know who I would like to see though? Missy Elliott against somebody. Missy Elliott wrote for so many people.
But who? To me, I can't see nobody on Missy Elliott level. Like, who would you play?
I know, right? I mean, it don't have to be a female, of course.
Right.
But Missy wrote for people, produced for people, and then all her albums. Like, who would go against Missy Elliott?
You know, Candy wrote for a lot of people too.
Yeah, she did.
She's not a producer either.
But she's not a producer.
She's not a producer. She's just a writer.
You know who I would like to see battle as far as what they wrote, not so much produced, would be Neo and the Dream. Because both of them wrote for
I got the Dream all day long.
Hold up, Neo and who?
The Dream.
That would be a good battle. That would be a good battle.
But they both wrote for a lot of people. That'll be a good battle.
Neo do have some hits though.
He do. In the Dream, believe it or not, he got a lot of hits too.
Huh? He got some hits on his own album. I bet.
Oh, Hitmaker. He got some hits too.
Hitmaker do got some hits. But see, he got the new hit.
Yeah, he got the new one.
What y'all think about Diddy and Dr. Dre?
Honestly, I think Dr. Dre will blow Diddy out.
Yeah, but Diddy got some hits.
Diddy just like the
That boy was
person that
at one point.
dancing up in the video.
Right. Diddy ain't really a producer. He like more.
Oh, y'all can't sleep on Diddy. Diddy got the whole Mary J. Bop joint.
He got married.
Oh wait,
Usher versus Chris Brown.
Jeremiah versus Chris Brown. That's
Usher.
Jeremiah.
Usher baby. It's Usher baby.
Chris Brown got hit for.
Yeah, he got hit. He's just
Chris
all
Brown,
around talented.
He don't put out a bad record ever.
Ever.
He really hasn't. Ooh,
Nah.
that'd be a good one.
Nah.
So just in case y'all didn't
Missy
know,
will kill Alicia Keys.
Missy and
oh no, Alicia
yeah,
Keys,
I don't think that's a good
oh,
matchup.
no.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alicia.
Yeah, sorry, Alicia. She had a few songs or whatever, but as far as I don't know, she was hot for a minute. I don't know what happened with her. So just in case y'all didn't know, Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia tonight at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, you got it live.
I already got it as a reminder.
Who y'all got?
Where is it? When is it there?
It's gonna be
on one of their Instagrams.
Probably one of their lives.
So right
3-6 Mafia.
I got.
You said 3-6 Mafia, Jen?
Me too.
3-6 Mafia. Yeah.
I think 3-6 Mafia gonna do it. Cause they got a lot of hits.
Bone Thugs head. Like I love me some Bone.
I mean,
I knew
like
she
Bone
was always
Thugs,
double advocate. She always gotta go against the grain.
but the thing is, I like Bone Thugs. Don't get me wrong,
I like
love
Bone Thugs too, but I just think 3-6 Mafia, they
got
more
hits for days.
yeah.
Oh head, Sally wig. Ain't got no.
I think they're gonna do it.
Okay,
Like,
now this is how you that's how you differentiate it. How many hits can you name of Bone Thugs right now?
Bone, 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 bone.
And then
and they had the one with Biggie.
It's Bone and Biggie.
But that was a remix. That was a remix with Biggie.
But that was my song.
That was my song.
I have one with see, that's what I'm talking about. 3-6 Mafia. I can name more than Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Busy Bone is with them anymore.
He's not.
So, you know, when you lose a member, it's not the same. Like everybody who started with 4 or 5 and then they lose and they go down to 3, it's just not the same. Just like in Vogue, TLC wasn't the same after they lost Left Eye.
Yeah.
Like when you lose members, like you're not the originals. It's different. I even saw Drew Hill on the Breakfast Club before we went into quarantine, and it was these 2 old heads with Cisco.
Wait, what?
It was Cisco and 2. They had Jazz, they had Nico.
No, none of them. They're gone.
So it's just
the other one, not Jazz and Nico. What was the other one name?
You got Cisco, Jazz, Nico, Woody.
Not Woody. Because Woody was the thicker one, right?
The real big one was Jazz.
Okay, so Woody said he didn't want no parts of them. Like he don't want to be a part of Drew Hill. He's done. He don't want them to contact him. Nothing.
I meant to watch the Unsung with them too. They did the Unsung.
What happened? And Cisco said he's trying to figure out what exactly happened. He don't even really know why the group broke up like that.
Who?
Why nobody want no part?
Who said that? Cisco?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was probably out of touch with the group.
Did he really know?
So they was asking, do they think like, you know, he was jealous? I think once he did like his solo project, that's kind of when everybody, you know, kind of separated and started to do their own thing. But I used to love Drew Hill.
I did too.
I was my group back in the day.
Tell me what you want.
Now, Drew Hill versus Jodeci, I am here for it.
I'm here for that. I am here for that.
So who would have
Kill him.
Huh?
Jodeci?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jodeci had that baby making music. They had some good hits.
Jodeci. Or either what was that other boy?
But Jodeci's like, you know, it's just a duo. It's not
What?
A large.
You can say that about Drew Hill.
Don't forget Devontae.
Jody. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm just thinking about when they went. Yeah, did that. You're right. Okay.
Or
I think Jodeci will win that one.
what about 112?
112 and
like a few songs. Like they have
112 and Boys and Men.
You think 112 and Boys and Men?
112 and Boys and Men. Who y'all got?
Boys and Men.
Boys and Men.
Definitely. Boys and Men will kill them.
Because they still make it right now.
Wait, a fun fact. Guess what? A fun fact. They from Philly. All right.
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, we know they're from Philly.
Here we go. So what about the women? You got Foxy and Kim. Who y'all got?
Kim.
Oh, Kim.
Right? You got
All day.
Latifah and
You murder Foxy Brown.
Okay, Queen Latifah.
And
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah and who?
MC Light.
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah kill it.
Because you got to think about career-wise, like the extent of her career compared to MC Light.
Nicki Minaj or Meg The Stallion?
Nicki Minaj.
I would say Nicki Minaj because her.
Yeah, I feel
I'm not a Nicki fan, but she got bars.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I feel like
a fan of hers that much either. But she's been on a lot of like remixes and stuff for people
I feel like
that we don't even listen to.
She does more like I'm this dude.
It will be like Cardi,
but Nicki will give her a big battle.
And I'm talking about lyrics, not hits. I'm talking about just lyrically to spit.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj got bars.
Yeah, she got bars. She's so animated.
Nicki was definitely
For the Motown Philly.
Where you say they got from? Motown Philly, not Gerard and Brooke. Where are you from, Justin? What are you talking about? Where you from?
Maybe talk about Boys to Men.
Yeah, where are you from? You're from Motown Philly, not Gerard and Brooke. They from South Philly. Come on now. Where are you from, Justin?
Oh man. But I think that Dr. Dre and Diddy, I think that's gonna happen. Because when Teddy Riley and Babyface ended their little show, Teddy Riley was on the phone with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre said he ain't want no parts. And then a few days later, I started seeing things floating around about him and Diddy about to have a.
You want to know why? Because social media is pushing it. Social media is influence.
When the fans want it,
they're going to give them what the fans want. They're going to break.
It'll be good.
They're going to break IG.
But the thing about that is they put out two totally different types of music.
But it's like, but if you think about it, it'd be like the whole East Coast, West Coast thing all over again.
Dre is gangster rap all day long. Diddy is make you feel good, vibe.
Right, he got the dancing music and stuff. Like that's crazy. I don't even see Teddy Riley and Babyface, honestly.
But it was dope though. But it worked though.
Oh, you're right. But Dre do got the joint with Mitchell A. Something in my
heart. I'm not Dr. Dre produced No Doubt. If y'all don't know who No Doubt is, remember that white band back in the day in the 90s? He produced No Doubt. Like Dre stepped outside. And if I'm not mistaken, he either had Linkin Park or Blink 182. I forgot which group it was. But
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They both got some really good hits. So
Dre will knock Diddy's ass out.
I just feel like it's so different.
It is. It really is.
I mean, but this whole pandemic, it got us being creative.
That is the most excitement that we find. It's stuff like this.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, the whole Babyface and Teddy Riley thing, I wanted to go get a glass of wine and just sit there and watch my phone for the rest of the night. Like
I did. I
had a phone in the back like this.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, The highlight of the night was when Babyface broke out the guitar and started singing live on IG.
I missed it. I didn't see that part.
Girl.
Oh my God.
Teddy Riley stuff was messing up again. And they was breaking the internet. You couldn't even get on their live. We had to follow somebody else's page.
Hold up. You had to be in the nosebleeds. You had to go to Questlove's IG to follow.
I was so mad.
When I couldn't get on IG, so I went on YouTube because it was live on YouTube. I was able to see it on YouTube because I couldn't get on IG.
Nobody could.
You did the same thing?
See,
so that's why I went on YouTube.
So
I think it's gonna be like that
because when he was doing his quarantine remixes, I was following Questlove. So he just so happened to have Teddy versus Babyface on his live. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get these back seats because I couldn't get on neither one of their Instagram pages.
I even watched
when they do that again on YouTube. So now you don't know. Go on YouTube.
Who had it streaming on YouTube?
Somebody, it was both of them up there. It was streaming from, like, you can see it. I just know that I just went to YouTube to Teddy and Babyface live and it popped up.
Dang.
I just started watching from YouTube.
Well, at least we all found some type of way to watch it.
I know.
They definitely broke.
I'm telling you, but tonight the Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3-6 Mafia, that joint gonna be lit.
Raheem Devon had been doing a little live stuff too. Yeah. I like Raheem Devon. I like his music.
Maybe it's a Libra thing because the Raheem Devon, I've been with him. Maybe it's a Libra thing.
Thank you. I can listen to
arrogant little midget. He's an arrogant little midget.
He is underrated.
He got some good.
He's very into himself.
Do you think? So let me ask you a question. So Nelly was on the Breakfast Club this week, and he was talking about, I think, what is that boy name? Damn it. The one he said that he brought, like, he made the Air Force Ones famous.
Oh, Murphy Lee?
Not Murphy Lee. No, it's somebody. Oh my God. I gotta look it up. But Nelly was saying that if he was from New York and he was putting out music like he did, he would have been like top of the charts. Like he would have made more money, had way more recognition. So sometimes it's the area that you're from. Like imagine if he was from New York. You know, a lot of famous people come out of New York. Boom, they just hit the top of the charts.
St. Louis. I still think he's still known and big out there.
But see, I think it's
Nelly had his time or whatever, but
New York is really tough to go into
the recognition. Huh?
I feel like New York is a tough market as far as music wise to be in. It's tough because think about it. New York is still like focused on the legends that are in there, like Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie Smalls. I mean, they are legends in New York, and then they have their own type of style.
And Biggie. Huh? A lot of famous people came out of New York.
I mean, I get it, but I don't think during that time Nelly would have made it.
But do you think more so it could be whatever label he's going on to put him out there more?
It could have been. I feel like from the minute he was high.
Because he was high. I feel like he everybody still know, like it's known. You know, but do you think it's just a label which he's the way to really put you out there and continue to whatever label that you're with?
I don't know. I do think sometimes it's an area thing.
I do.
But I think if Wale was from somewhere else, he would get more recognition.
I just think the situation, it would be just like he was in the right place at the right time. Like at the time, we didn't have no artists from St. Louis, Missouri. Who the hell would look at somebody from St. Louis? So my thing is, being that he's from a certain city that wasn't getting no clout at the time, not only was they not getting no clout, but when Nelly came aboard, he brought in more artists from the same area with him, like the St. Lunatics, like Murphy Lee. You know what I'm saying? They all blew up.
Brian Lyle said Nelly was a better success for not being in NY because he was original. That's very true.
That's true.
He had his own style. He had his own swag, which
Hey,
was more respected than anything.
He said he got the Air Force Ones from New York, though. One of his friends out
Right.
in New York,
I mean,
put him
wearing
on,
them.
he made it famous through the music.
I feel like we were wearing them before he came out with it.
Yeah.
I feel like it just really skyrocketed when he came out with this song. But he was wearing it before.
He was arguing that Air Force Ones was $60 before he made that song, and then after the song came out or whatever, and they got famous, they shot up to about $100-some.
Totally agree with him on that. Totally agree with him on that.
So,
I totally agree. That wasn't Nelly's breakout song though.
No,
Grammar was Nelly's breakout.
Yeah, Country Grammar.
which one?
Country Grammar.
I had to learn every lyric from that song, every word from that song.
And then they had their own little dance to go with their songs and stuff. So St. Louis, I think that if he went to New York,
did he do that dance? I like the way he do it right there. Yeah, no. I think he did start that.
Wait, no, wasn't that that was Chingy, right?
Oh, Chingy, you're right. Yeah. I forgot all about Chingy.
Can do that right there.
But Chingy was from St. Louis too.
Oh, see?
But Chingy a banger. I'm a Nelly fan.
I'm a Nelly fan too.
I like Nelly too.
All right, T, moving on. What's up next?
Oh my goodness. Okay, all this lyrical talk. Did y'all know that Georgia opened back up? Did y'all know that?
They didn't lost their goddamn mother effing blah 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 mind.
Yes.
So this past weekend, Georgia decided to open up their salons and their barbershops and certain small businesses. Now, I don't think it was like
tattoo shops.
Tattoo shops. That would probably be the last damn place I go to during a quarantine is a tattoo shop. That needle stuff and whoever, nah. And plus, a lot of tattoo shops had donated their PPEs to hospitals and stuff because they were closed. So the last place I'll be in a tattoo shop.
I feel like Georgia the test dummy. Like, all right, let's let them. Because
do you think that Georgia was the test dummy because the population in Georgia is mostly African American?
Exactly. Let's let them out here and see what they do. Did y'all see that that thing on Facebook where they had some type of event and it was a bunch of black people outside?
Hold on, Jim. What you say?
I said yes, because no offense to any other race out there. But as far as us black women, at times we need to get our hair done. Men need to go to the barbershop. So I feel like target hair salons, barbershop, remember two things that we go to. And this time, we all need. Yes, I feel like you target Georgia where majority. I'm not going to say I don't know about all the other states of the whole other cities of the whole state of Georgia, but.
See, this is I disagree because Georgia is an entire state. It's not like the state of Georgia is for black people. They're opening they're removing the entire stay-at-home order. Coronavirus isn't targeted toward black people. So Asian, white, black, yellow, green, or orange. If you go to those places, you're in jeopardy or at risk of catching the virus if it is transmittable in that location. So my thing is, I know people are making this kind of like a black-white thing, and I understand that, but the state of Georgia is not a black state. It's not. So it's still able to get the illness, So I think that by us saying that, black people, they're opening it up for black people. I think that's showing the ignorance of us. I don't think they're targeting black people. They wouldn't open up the whole.
You know what, B. Ripley's, believe it or not, the white people were out too.
And I'm saying,
I don't know.
They were out too
for a little while.
But you know what? Because they're kicking and screaming and protesting. Oh, we need businesses. We need money. This, that, and the third. Now they protesting against the stuff. And guess what? When they kick and scream and holler long enough, guess what? The government always gives them what they wanted. So they was like, all right, well, we're going to open this one state up to see how it goes.
So here's where it's going to be very dangerous. So when Georgia does their statistics a month.
Her mama is cut on.
I heard the garage. I'm like, what the heck is that? When Georgia does their numbers 30 days from now, I would be very curious to see what those numbers look like. Because if there is a growing increase, I'm curious to see what their course of action will be at that point. I'm really, really curious.
See, my thing is, I know like Mayor Browser, she put out a survey as she want to get the public's opinion about DC back up and asking questions. And my thing is, I filled out the survey and I basically said, no, do not reopen right now, because unless health officials will say everything are down, like, no, we do not need it. I don't care what it is. Do not reopen right now. I know people need jobs, money, need businesses, but I feel like they're worried about money more than people's health.
I think that people are going to start following suit. Different states.
Well, I'll tell you one
New
thing.
York right now is taking a major hit.
New York is taking the biggest hit.
They can't reopen
New York.
At all
So
right
I read an article just yesterday that a funeral home in Brooklyn had 2 U-Haul trucks parked outside of their funeral home with cadavers in it, because there is no room or nowhere to keep burying the bodies that are dying from COVID-19 in the state of New York. That is the most scariest shit. And the thing is, the only way they found out is because a neighbor in the neighborhood where the funeral home is, someone called about a certain smell in the neighborhood that they couldn't figure out what it was, and it had been going on for days. So they called the police, then the detectives came. Come to find out, this funeral home has dead bodies in a U-Haul truck and on the floor in their funeral home.
I saw that today.
You saw that?
I did.
That is the scariest thing ever. And the thing is, like, someone mentioned that this could be somebody's brother, uncle, grandfather, father, nephew. But it's respecting the dead, like bury them the way they should be buried. It's scary out here. And
you know what that? They said, I was listening to the radio, and they said that it's more death that has happened in the U.S. than the Vietnam War, which lasted about 10 years. The Vietnam War lasted 10 years. And they said it's been more death in the U.S. in these 3 months, 2-3 months, than it has in the Vietnam War. And that, when I heard it on the radio, I was just like, my mind was blown. Like, damn.
It makes you scared. It makes you scared. And let's be clear, here it is. We live in,
and your president talking about everything is great. It's awesome. It's going amazing. That's your president.
We don't claim him.
Your president still with talking fruits. I'm sorry.
He want to inject some Lysol in you. Your president want to inject Lysol in you.
Like, who does that? Who does that dumb shit?
What do y'all feel about the vaccination? I heard them talking about that on the news last night.
What about the vaccination?
Would you take it? You think it's going to change anything?
I think the vaccination would essentially be like a flu shot, right? People get flu shots every season.
And then people get the flu right after they take the flu shot.
They don't.
I will be the first to tell you I ain't never got vaccinated for anything.
Right after they took it. The lady that worked at one of my doctors.
I took the flu shot. I never got it after.
I don't even
think everybody is different. I've heard stories.
But I wouldn't take the vaccine for corona. And I probably would never plan on getting another flu shot either with all this shit.
You know what they're injecting into you. And Black people are dying more than any other race right now.
So let me bring some light to y'all though. We all live and I mean, we may have listeners outside of the DMV area. This particular county that we live in is called Prince George's County. Prince George's County is one of the richest Black counties in America. Richest Black counties in America. A few days ago, they opened up Laurel Regional Hospital, which has been closed for about 2 years now, for coronavirus patients, which means that they're drawing the numbers even further up, bringing the patients to a Black county, which is Black county, mind you. They're drawing the numbers up
more,
of death right here in the Black county. So now the numbers look crazy in PG County because now we're bringing in COVID patients.
I did hear that, you know, everybody who passes away is not from COVID. They're just calling it that. They didn't even get tested.
Okay, so that's fact. But here's my thing. How is it so? Is it that ironic that people are passing away from other things outside of coronavirus at the same time we're going through a pandemic?
Old age? I don't know.
A lot of people
have some type of
oasis.
You're right.
So something within the coronavirus or something that they're catching with COVID-19 is triggering whatever underlying ailments they have to kill them. So it does spark from
So
COVID-19.
what if they go to the hospital and they're sick for something else, but because so many sick people are in the hospital who have COVID, they're catching it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you don't even know. They're saying that if you aren't that sick, to stay home. Like, don't go to the hospitals. They're like against that.
Yep.
It's crazy. But yeah. So guys, we won't put that to rest for a minute because, you know, the COVID thing can get overwhelming.
All we should do is just stay home.
Very depressing.
I honestly think that everything, we won't get a clear picture until next spring, to be quite honest with you. I think that we need to see the numbers. Obviously, we've seen the numbers in the winter. We're experiencing spring. We need to experience summer and fall. And then that we'll be able to get an assessment from that point about how, you know, the numbers are really doing. And I think before that, everything else is premature.
Are y'all gonna be wearing masks for the rest of the year?
Thank you.
Y'all gonna be wearing masks and gloves for the rest of the year?
Girl, hell
Even
yeah.
if they lift it?
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be the new
So
norm.
I don't know if y'all get whatever happens in DC, but like Maria Raza put out, it was like a thing online that it said some businesses will be allowed to reopen with social distancing and other restrictions in the summer. There's going to be recovery begins in fall of 2020, and the new normal won't be until spring and summer of 21.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jen.
Yeah.
Repeat what you just said.
It was online on the coronavirusdc.gov. It said that small businesses will be allowed to reopen with social distancing and other restrictions in the summer. Recovery begins in the fall, and that our new normal won't be until spring, summer 21. And that was like online on the
I can believe that
DC.gov.
though. I can see that.
Yeah, we need to get back to really normal probably next year this time.
That's why I said they real quick to get some damn money from the stupid economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They don't care about these lives. They don't care about these lives out here.
Everybody just stay safe, keep your mask on, and keep some hand sanitizer on you.
Wash your hands. As if
That'll
they
be
need to
the
tell
time. You
people
gotta
that,
keep
but
prayed
you know,
up.
everybody should know to wash their hands anyway. But just in case you don't,
Wash your
wash
hands.
your hands. Your
I
nails.
do miss being friends though. I miss being friends.
Here's a quick little just about the quarantine. My brother just was telling me about. He was looking at something on Instagram where there were people saying, "Why can't the government stop taxing stuff?" Right? So when you pay things, there's a tax included. They should remove that, especially because the economy is in shit right now.
Because that tax money going to these policemen is going to whatever stimulus check that we're getting.
That stimulus check is crap. I didn't get a stimulus check, but that's not for everybody.
Girl, let me tell you. Look
I
at
know
mine.
what the stimulus check looks like.
My dad
Well,
couldn't even cover my car
You got kids, you don't even get enough from because of the kids.
What kids with? What kids? Trump don't know my
Well, no, if they say if you make over like 80,000 or something, you're not gonna get it. So
I think it's 80,000 and then 150 as a household if you make over that. I didn't see any type of stimulus. So
I saw gas money. Don't feel bad. I saw gas money.
I ain't see nothing. So
I just think it's a slap in the face to people who live in this area. It does absolutely nothing for us.
All right, kid, let's get to the game time with Miss Kia.
I'm gonna ask some questions, guys, before we, end.
It's a bad hair day, bad hair month.
Everybody, yes, that's all we got the caps on. We are quarantined.
What
does everybody hat say? What does everybody hat say? What does your hat say?
Show their hair.
Huh?
Vanessa say Balenciaga.
You say take your hats off and show your hair?
I dare somebody to take their hats off and show
Yours say faded as fuck.
Oh, you
mine.
Your little photo real fresh.
Hold up.
I just cornrow my own hair.
Cornrows are fresh.
Girl, I am not taking this off. This looks a hot mess under here.
Who next?
Ponytail. No.
$10 for the person to show their hair off. Cash app. $10. Do
it.
Oh, y'all playing. Y'all
no, I'm not,
in edges.
I'm not taking, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did nothing to my hair about an hour and a half ago. I would have been in Schitt's Creek.
But V,
like,
you realize people that took their hats off, hair is still intact and fine.
Exactly. I ain't playing my drink off.
I just washed my hair, so I have an excuse. Nikki,
your edges are laid. Tiara, your edges are laid.
It's still wet.
But they laid. They ain't gonna talk about these edges.
I ain't even doing that, Jen.
You could slick yours back and it'll still be cute.
Whatever.
And you can do something with yours too, Jen. You can lay your edges.
Wait, V,
you can make a ponytail
over it, V. Just put that black stocking over it.
Yeah, bring the black stockings back.
Shut up.
Bring the black stocking back, V.
They give you a little bit of life.
Go ahead and do the game.
Let's go ahead. Come on, Miss Kia. What we got here?
I'm trying to find some good ones. I'm trying to find like some good questions.
Oh, so while she's finding the questions, y'all need to check out Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington. To our listeners.
So everybody gonna answer the questions. What is the body part that you hate on yourself?
Say that again.
What is the body part that you hate on yourself?
Kerry.
A body part.
What's your question?
Yeah.
What is a body part that you hate on yourself? You wish you can change. I love everything.
My toes.
I would change
my belly.
I would say my belly, definitely.
My stomach. Other than that, I'm good.
I love my little stomach, pudge and everything.
I wouldn't change it now.
You actually seen your stomach when it had a 6-pack, so you good. Mine's never ever solid. Like I've never had a 6-pack. It's never been any type of muscle, nothing. I get some taking off the sides.
Now I'm good for a quick life walk.
What was yours?
I'm a whole muffin top. Oh, muffin top.
Me too, kid. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, what was yours, Jen?
Like I don't know if I would change it now because now I really don't care. I'm good. I'm good with my body. But before, if I had to, it would be my boobs. I would like just a little bit more. Yeah. But now I'm confident and I'm good now. I would say like in high school, I was just like,
but honestly, it's either one or the other. If you didn't have like no butt, no boobs, no nothing, but you know, you got butt, so you good.
I ain't have either. Let me tell you, hey, you want to hit some transparent stuff? Victoria's Secret bras are the best thing ever. Okay, it will make you look.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret got some good bras.
They do. I do have a few Victoria's Secret bras. I do.
Thank you, Vicky's Secret.
What's the next one?
Yeah. All right. So name one of your embarrassing habits that no one knows about.
I like to pick boogers.
Oh, yes, you do. I know about that, and it's disgusting, yo.
I like to. Okay. I like to scratch the dandruff. Like if I see, I literally want to just scratch my hair, scratch the dandruff. Like I like to
yes.
No, really? That's disgusting.
Like my mom would love to do that, and I would love to do that with my mom's hair. Like, I want to just scratch the dandruff out.
Oh my God, y'all like picking pimples too?
Yes, I really do.
You do?
Yes. Dr. Pimple Popper, I love that show.
What is wrong with y'all? Yeah, what is an embarrassing? I mean, not embarrassing. Look, little fires everywhere.
Yeah, little fires everywhere.
So fired.
Okay.
Why are you laughing at me?
My habit, my secret habit is pimple popping. Like watching Dr. Pimple Popper and my 600 Pound Life.
Yeah, I love that.
That's my guilty pleasures.
Yes, I love watching that too. Like they be getting it. I'm like,
no, it ain't no little pimple. It be.
Yes, see, Brian, no, he said Dr. Pimple Popper is the queen. Thank you, Brian.
That is disgusting. Yes. There's no way I can sit through a whole episode watching that bullshit.
Let me tell you, I don't know what type of gratifying pleasure I get out of watching Dr. Pimple Popper, but I go back and watch old episodes.
Yes.
And her YouTube channel.
Yes, Sierra.
I'm so disgusted by everything. I don't even know if I have a bad habit. Like everything, I just find disgusting.
So what is your guilty pleasure?
Like she's removing
guilty pleasure. That's a good one.
She's removing fat and cysts out of people.
So what do you like doing, Akia?
I don't have really bad habits. Like I can't think of nothing. I'm really literally disgusted. What is it, Tiara? Tell me. You looking like you know. That's not a bad habit.
She's a nagger, guys.
Only if I'm not getting my way. But yeah, I don't have any like bad habits that I can think of. Everything is
I am a booger queen. Call me the boogerologist.
Oh my God. Yo, that's
you love to be a kid.
Okay, we got time for one more.
Oh, she said, "What is like our guilty pleasure?" I don't know what my guilty pleasure is. That's a good one though.
Chocolate for me.
I used to crush M&Ms like it was an everyday thing for me for a minute.
My guilty pleasure.
What kind of food?
Eating a whole bag of Reese's. Yeah, I did that. Whole bag of Reese's. Yes, I love me some Reese's. Reese's cups.
Let me see a good question here.
One more question. And then everybody got to tune into the 3-6 Mafia versus John 13.
Right, 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so last question. What have you done that people would judge you the most for doing?
Huh?
What have you done that people would judge you the most for doing? Like, what would you be judged if they knew you did it? How would you be judged?
Hold on, you tell me, Kia.
I got a lot, and I would not say it on this line.
I plead the fifth.
Exactly. He's supposed to be transparent, but that's a little too transparent.
I am transparent. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to transparent to something else.
Exactly.
Blocking people, I guess. I don't know.
What you say, Tiara?
Blocking people.
That's whack here.
Yeah, I mean, why would people judge you for blocking? Everybody does it. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
Because I'm quick to do it. That's why.
Nobody is gonna judge you.
Real quick, whose page is the verse supposed to be on?
Both of theirs. So you can go to either one of their
It ain't nothing on Bone Thugs right now.
it's gonna come on.
It is. You know, PvP time.
Try Crazy Bone page 2. Or is that Project Pat? I don't know who was on the flyer. Try their page.
Okay, ladies. We have reached our 8 o'clock mark.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch.
But I want to tune into this Bone Thugs versus.
Y'all better hurry up and tune in before everybody come in.
Nakia, tag me. You know I can't find nothing on IG.
I'm gonna send you. Oh dang! When I get off this call, then I'm gonna send you the flyer.
Thank you to all our viewers and people that commented. We appreciate y'all.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for quarantine with us. We really appreciate y'all coming through every time. Even for those who are just tuning in and y'all haven't watched our show, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for just coming through. We're gonna get through this every day. It's a little
one day at a time.
It's getting there.
Don't forget to see the episode 2 next Thursday.
Yeah, season 2.
Season
and
2,
like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
See y'all.
Bye. We got Bone Thugs and Harmony 36 Mafia.
Yes. Boom, 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 boom.
Tell me what you're gonna do.
There ain't nowhere to hide.